Why diets fail, and 80% of them fail within 72 hours. This has been a question that has intrigued me for a very long time. How a person so motivated to change their life for the better suddenly loses the motivation that got them started in the first place. If you are someone who is going through this challenge, just know that you are not alone. All of us go through this stage. Trust in the process. Remind yourself that very few worthwhile things come without a cost. We humans are not open to changes on a subconscious level, and that may be because of our evolutionary instinct for survival. Our most important memories are coupled with emotions, what we have for our lunch, where we went for our vacation. None of it matters, but how we feel about it matters a lot. We all have deep emotional and cultural links with our diets. Changing our diets for the better is also about changing a habitual pattern which doesn't happen without a struggle. I will try and explain this in subsequent videos because trying to do so in one video will be a very lengthy process. I have formed a theory with my knowledge, experience, and some very interesting findings from other scientists, which I will share with you in this video. The stress response is activated when an individual's sense of control over his or her environment is challenged. We now know that changing a diet is also about changing the environment as well as cues that we get from around us. Emotional arousal can readily dominate the mental landscape. It is more difficult to willfully turn off strong emotions with thought alone. Emotional experiences is the strongest motivator of attention, attitudes, decision, and behavior rather than our will. We have more connections between the emotional centers of our brain than the cognitive centers. They are way more efficient in energy utilization, which explains why emotions affect physiological response more than thought alone. I will like to tell you about a theory of emotion first proposed by the late neurophysiologist Dr. Carl Pibram, professor emeritus and former director of neurophysiological laboratory of Stanford. In this model, the brain functions as a complex pattern identification and pattern matching system. Within the body, the patterns of activity of many processes provide constant rhythmic inputs with which the brain becomes familiar. Much like a young child who can only sleep with a favorite blanket or stuffed animal. These rhythmic patterns include the heart's rhythmic activity, respiratory, digestive, and hormonal rhythms, and patterns of muscular tension, particularly facial expressions. Past experience builds within us a set of familiar patterns which are stored in the brain's neural architecture. Emotional sensations and experience result from the ongoing dynamic interaction between the heart, brain, nervous system, and hormonal system. The brain develops familiar patterns of emotional experience and looks for similarities, differences, and relationships between patterns and then responds to these patterns. The brain continuously monitors these inputs to help organize perception, feeling, and behavior. Recurring patterns form a stable reference against which current input is compared. When the brain finds within a current input a pattern that matches a stored reference, it processes the experience as familiar or comfortable, even if it is anxiety, fear, panic, or depression. When the current input pattern is sufficiently different from the reference, which always happens with the changing dietary or lifestyle patterns, there is a mismatch that occurs, and this Departure from this familiar pattern gives rise to feelings of discomfort, which in turn activate physiological responses. Such responses often result in increase in the activity of the sympathetic branch of the nervous system. This we define as stress. In short, because our psychophysiological systems are designed to maintain stability, returning to the familiar reference gives us a sense and feeling of security, while remaining in unfamiliar territory causes unease, even if the unfamiliar territory may be a more desirable behavior, like losing fat, reducing our symptoms of disease. We can begin to understand now why people get derailed off a healthy lifestyle or a dietary pattern. In many subsequent videos, I will try to go deeper into the nuances of this very topic. If you found this video valuable, please don't forget to like, share this video with someone. Also, please do consider subscribing to my channel to get more videos like this.